Hi, I'm Province Entertainment reporter Stuart Derdeyn here with another edition of the Seen and Heard Province podcast, and I'm lucky enough today to have the one and only Colin James, who's sitting in with us. And Colin, welcome.
Thank you.
You look pretty awake for a guy who just did 9 million interviews in Toronto in like 4 hours or whatever you were saying.
Yeah, it was pretty. We did two solid days, and Toronto's so big. Just getting across a couple times, we were supposed to be in a place, and somebody went. It was a crazy couple of days, and plus the snowstorm happened on the day of my arrival. So, yeah, nice to be home.
Now, of course, you're comfortable with that, but you've been away from those snowstorms for long enough, because you're a prairie boy originally,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. No, I know cold. I definitely know cold, and I knew I always wanted to end up in Vancouver. Like, it was always my plan. And a couple of weeks ago, I was saying to my road manager, I said, maybe I'll bring my road bike out on the road. Like, I'll use it out on the tour. And he says, you remember that the weather's not like Vancouver.
You got spiked tires.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Did you ever see that thing, the guys that came up with the half tread that you could connect to the back of your pedal bicycle? So it's basically, it was on Dragon's Den or something. It's an extension, so you turn your bicycle into a snow machine.
I did not see that, but I've seen people with studs on their tires doing that thing. Yeah.
So speaking of which, you are getting ready to go out on the road. It seems to me you're going on the road in two different ways right now because, okay, we've got the new album, Hearts and Fire is out, and we were talking about this before, and it's album 17, or maybe it's album 15. Maybe it's
depending how you look at it.
Depending on how you look at it, but
Yeah.
let's say 17 for the sake of releases with your name on them.
Yeah.
And that's a long legacy and a lot of career. But I also know that you're doing the band tour, but you're also doing these acoustic duos, and they seem to be coincide. Are you crossing over those?
Well, no, we're doing the whole electric tour first, and then we take 3 weeks off, and I go back and I hit some of the secondary markets with the acoustic tour. Something I've been doing for a few years now, and when it first got brought up to me, I was dead set against it. I've always been a band guy. I've always not been a big talker on stage. It's not my thing. I prefer just to play the songs and thank you, good night, and I'm out of there. And I just said, okay, I'll do 2 weeks and see how I like it. Me and Craig Northey at the time. And me and Craig Northey went out to Charlottetown and the East Coast, and we did a few. And I ended up really liking it far more than I expected I would. I have a bit of a folk background at heart. So it shouldn't be so crazy. But still, I never considered myself really an acoustic player. And what I found right away was you can't hide behind a bunch of stuff. It's you and this guy, and there's this people staring at you, and you got to go, well, this song I did, and I found it was really a real growing experience for me. Like, it really brought me out of my shell a little bit that I tend to get into, and allows you a bit more space sonically. After bam, 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 bam all night, there's nowhere to go sometimes, and it's kind of refreshing.